Hey, welcome back to Spark and Hustle, the podcast where we get real about what it takes to build a life and career that actually feels good, not just on paper, but in your bones. I'm P, and today I want to talk about something that has been rattling around in my head for a while. It's a concept that explains why sometimes the worst things happen to us can actually lead to the best outcomes. And why the stuff that's just okay, not great, not awful, is often what keeps us the most stuck. It's called the region beta paradox. And if you've never heard of it, buckle up. It might just shift the way you think about discomfort, ambition, and change. So let's get into it. So what is the region beta paradox? The region beta paradox is a term coined by psychologist Daniel Gilbert and his colleagues. It describes this counterintuitive idea that we might recover faster or respond better to more intense problems than we do to mild ones. It's called region beta because it plays on a kind of fictional map. Imagine two zones, region alpha and region beta. Region alpha, things are fine, maybe not amazing, but tolerable. In region beta, things are clearly bad. The paradox is that when you're in region beta and the problem is bad enough, you actually take action. You get help, you make changes, you move. But when you're in region alpha, you sit still, you settle, you carry on. The result, sometimes you get stuck in mediocrity longer than you would have if things just had been worse. Now let's make it real. I'm sure you have a few examples that came into your mind. I'm going to give you a work-related one. Ever had a job that was just okay? Not your dream job, but it paid decently, paid the bills. Your boss wasn't terrible, and it was manageable. So you stayed for years, for months, for more years. But then someone else has a toxic boss, like full-on nightmare, and within 3 months, they're job hunting, networking, and boom, they're out. And 6 months later, they're in a way better role. That's the region beta paradox in action. Here's another. Physical injury. If you break your leg, you go straight to the hospital. You rest, you do PT, more physical therapy, you get support, you recover. But if you tweak your knee, you might limp around on it for a few weeks, few months, thinking it's not that bad. It'll go away. And it doesn't, at least not quickly. Same with relationships. A breakup that's awful and clear-cut might send you into therapy or on a soul-searching solo trip that changes your life. But a relationship that's fine, a little stagnant, mildly unfulfilling, can drag on for years because, hey, it's not that bad. We take action when things are clearly broken. But when they're just meh, okay, fine, we wait and wait and wait. So why do we do this? The concept is buried in behavioral psychology called threshold activation. Basically, we have to reach a certain level of discomfort before we act. If things are below that threshold, our brains will default to preserving energy. We rationalize, we settle, we carry on. We say things like, It's not ideal, but it's stable. I can manage. I'm okay. Maybe next year. Sound familiar? And here's the kicker. We often don't even realize we're doing it. Mild discomfort is insidious. It lulls into inertia. But pain, real pain, is a signal. It demands attention. That spot. That's why the region beta paradox is so powerful and so dangerous. Because we're not stuck because things are bad. We're stuck because they're not bad enough. That pushes us into action. Now, what does that really mean for you, for your life, for work, for relationships, for your health? It means that fine might be your biggest red flag. That the job that's tolerable, the relationship that's not awful, the routine that's not inspiring, but not painful either, that's where you might be losing the most time. Sometimes the most dangerous place to be isn't rock bottom. You guessed it. It's region beta. That in-between space where things aren't terrible, but they're far from great. Where you don't hurt, but you're not really alive either. So here's a question for you. Where in your life are you tolerating something that's just okay? Is it your work, your health, your habits, your friendships, your relationships, or your self-talk? What would it take for you to act before things get worse? To stop waiting for the fire and instead make a move while you still have energy to direct it. I'll leave you with this. Sometimes the enemy of great isn't bad. It's that 4-letter word. It's an F word. It's fine. And if something in your life feels just fine, maybe that's your signal. You don't need a crisis to give yourself permission to change. You just need to give yourself the clarity and maybe a little bit of courage. All right, that's it for today's episode. If this sparked something for you, in you, I'd love to hear about it. Drop me a message or share this with someone who's living in region beta right now. And if you're in that space yourself, that might be your invitation. This might be your invitation to move. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and stay out of region beta. See you next time.